We interrupt this broadcast to bring you the latest report on the Argonaut mine disaster. We now switch to our reporter on location at the Argonaut mine.
Right now I'm standing next to a large aviary that was built last week. In it are dozens of canary birds who, like the men, have been drafted for rescue service in the burning Argonaut mine. Scores of mother-lode homes are songless today because of this generosity, and every few minutes another family arrives with one of these caged yellow birds. Mothers and daughters, high school children, elderly women and men are making this trek to the Argonaut mine with their caged friends. The Red Cross is in charge of the aviary, and Mrs. Fred Lowe, one of the gallant volunteers, is on duty now. Standing against a bright blue sky, Mrs. Lowe is carefully hanging bunches of red and green grapes from the bars of the cage. The grapes, which were donated by local merchants, are quickly being pecked and eaten by the birds. Mrs. Lowe, please tell our radio audience why the canaries are so important.
Yes, I'd be happy to. You see, when a rescue worker goes down into the mine, he's got to wear an oxygen tank. Otherwise, he could be overcome by the gases from the fire. But those tanks are probably good for only half an hour or so, and that isn't much time.
How long does it take for the men to get down to the fire?
Well, it usually takes over an hour, and that's where the canary bird comes in. The rescue man has the oxygen tank on his back and the caged canary in one hand. You know, a man can't smell the gas, so he keeps his eye on the canary. And if it dies or falls off its perch, then he knows it's time to turn on his oxygen. I really hate having to do this. 2 of these little birds are mine. But I tell myself that the cause is a good one and that these tiny creatures will save lives. Everyone around here feels so helpless, and this is one way that we can help in the rescue of those poor men.
We've been talking to Mrs. Fred Lowe, the Red Cross volunteer in charge of the Argonaut aviary, and this is Cedric Clute returning you to our studio.